R-M-N. It's the talk of the town. So come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410. On WRMN, it's the talk of the town. So come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
Hey, and here we are, WRMN 1410, another episode of Deano's Night Out. We have some guests going to be joining us in just a few short moments, but he's going to be here with Matt. Matt McNeil will also be with me. In fact, I'm going to just let you guys see who's here. We got a gentleman in the studio today. His name is, his real name is Jonathan C Legat, but he likes to be called John. So at least say hi to everybody, John. Go ahead. You can
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
And the mic works. Very good. Matt McNeil. Our
Hello.
Ryan Seacrest, McNeil, and he'll be with me today, help me through this interview as we talk about some great things about John's career path, what he's got going on, this real neat thing with the Blue Whiskey Film Festival. So we'll talk about all of that in a few short moments. So, as we do every single time, we like to show a little respect to our guy, Ron Onesti from the Arcada Theatre, which is in St. Charles, 105 East Main Street. He's been a sponsor of the show since its inception, and we appreciate all that he does. Ron's been around, oh my God, for so many years. We've been friends through different civic organizations and clubs for a long, long time, and he's just a good guy, real good man, helps a lot of people in the community. So here's what they got going on today over at the Arcada Theatre. They have Arrival from Sweden. And they've been selling out venues since 1995 in more than 70 countries. Basically a cover band for the music of ABBA. ABBA, say it how you want to say it, but most people say ABBA.
Yep.
Okay, next, these guys here, and I happen to know these guys pretty much on a personal level, the Bronx Wanderers. These are just an amazing group of guys. You've never heard a group so together, family members as well. Three of them, two sons, and the one lead singer. I'm telling you, just out of this world. If you have the chance, get over there on Saturday, 2 p.m. You will not be disappointed. And then if you don't make the main show, I think they're going to be in the Club Arcada as well, or the Speakeasy, one of the other ones. But check it out, the Bronx Wanderers. They're just ages, audience from all ages, music that'll just flip you out. I mean, you got to see them. I'm not even going to talk no more about them. But you're going to love it. Check them out. They're wonderful. That if on Saturday, 8 o'clock show, Live, Dead, and Brothers. That's the name of this group. So I'm assuming that's the Grateful Dead is what they're tribute to. And they're comprised of of actual and legacy members from the extended Grateful Dead and Allman Brother families. This exceptional ensemble is set to revive the timeless magic of the late 1960s and the early 1970s. Guys like me that can remember that. And bringing fans and experience like none other. We always put a little comedy in here over at the Comedy Vault. And this is in Batavia, 18 West Wilson Street. Sean Donnelly, another Irishman, that's okay. When he's not catching a nap with his bulldog, Rickle, Sean can be found headlining clubs and festivals all over the country. He has appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman, Conan, and NBC's Last Comic Standing. But we always like to promo our friends right around the corner and our neighbors. The Martini Room. They're located at 161 East Chicago Street, just right up around the corner. And they have live music Fridays. Catchy name, huh?
Yeah.
I like it. I guess it's live today, and today's Friday.
Yeah, it is.
So they got Dave Hudson over there. That's going to be, I never saw Dave Hudson. I've seen most of the other, but I don't think I caught Dave Hudson yet. So I may sneak in over there. And then our good friend, which Susie C is the co-host and the morning show, 6 to 9 each and every single day, Monday through Friday, Newman's Corner Pub. They're sending out a big thank you. This past weekend, it was Susie C's birthday, and she had a lot of guest bartenders. They had, in fact, Matt was one of them.
That was not good.
Well, he did okay. He broke the handle on the beer dispenser. He feels bad. He doesn't realize they just unscrewed. They made him think he'd break it, but he didn't. Then we had the mayor from Hampshire was there, Mayor Reed, Mary Kay from Burlington, Guy Zambetti from Gilbert's. So it was nice. It was a star-studded event, and they raised over $4,000 for this lovely Megan who needed a support animal because she has seizures. So because of that, and all of Susie's tips and everyone's tips, they were so gracious in donating. It went to support this what do you call it? Support pet.
Yep.
I don't like to call them animals because you know what?
Yep.
They're not animals. I mean, they're just not.
Their family.
Yes.
Right or wrong. I mean,
Very right.
Oh my God, my golden doodle, that's my life, not even my family.
Mm-hmm.
She runs the house, you know what I mean? And I just happen to live there with her. That's how it ends up working, especially with a golden doodle. So you know what we'll do? We're going to take just a real short, quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Jonathan, for the record. Be back in a few short moments, folks.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-257-3148. 800-257-3148. 800-257-3148. That's 800-257-3148.
Does your car need a shine? At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they make it quick, easy, and spotless every time. And they're open 24/7 for your convenience. Right now, get a free car wash just for joining their text club. Text BRITT to 30400 and enjoy a free car wash. Visit Britain's Touchless Car Wash at 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin or at 555 Willow in West Dundee. Britain's, caring for your car while caring for our community.
Listen this Sunday afternoon to Handle on the Law.
I know we're at an at-will date, but for making a comment, like, hey, your hair looks good. And then I got a call from HR saying, hey, you know what? You're under investigation. Do I have any recourse?
Were you fired?
No, not yet.
The problem, Eddie, is they can fire you for any reason they want. They literally can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm a little bored this morning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire Eddie for no reason. Yep, he can do that.
Yeah,
That's California. Yep, welcome.
It's Handle on the Law this Sunday afternoon from 4 to 7 right here on WRMN.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
For the most part, I'm here to talk about them.
Hey, and we are back to Dino's Night Out right here every single Friday, 2 to 4. And today joining us, I already made the introduction, we got John Legat in the studio with us, along with Matt. So welcome, John. How are you?
Well, and yourselves?
Very
Couldn't be
good.
better. How about it, Matt?
Excellent.
Yeah. We're glad you made it in here.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this film festival thing from what I've read and what I'm told.
Yep, that is correct.
Speaking with you, and that's the Blue Whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival.
There
This is
you
our
go.
15th year.
15 years doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've been acting all this time too, huh?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, pretty nice.
That's why they let me MC.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You're the MC.
I'm not afraid to have a microphone in my hand, so they
We're
let
kind
me
of
do it.
bashful ourselves.
Yes, I know. Wallflowers completely.
Every one of us.
Yep.
So that's kind of nice. That's great to have you in here. And if you want to follow that, I want to get it out right away. It's BWIFF.com. BWIFF.com if you want to check in on this. We also want to get some phone calls from you. Don't be bashful, because John would love to hear and answer any kind of questions.
Oh, yes.
He's been doing this craft for many, many years. Been to school for it. He got him some education out of it.
Yes,
right?
I did.
Yeah,
Illinois State.
There you are.
Awesome.
But you want to call in. Our call-in line is 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. We also have that text line, which is 505-926-1410. We know if you're hearing us, you could also watch on YouTube. You can see what this guy John looks like. Not a bad-looking guy. He has some son of a gun. But there he is. There's some of the other stuff that we have. And you can do youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. So that's pretty much all I want to do on the intro. And I want to get back and talk to really just our guest over here. So go ahead. This is on you now. Tell us a little bit how you got into all this acting stuff.
So, I mean, acting was a passion from my youth, and that's actually how I ended up meeting Michael P. Nowens, who is the executive director of the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival. He and I started doing independent films shortly after I graduated college, and I mean, he's a wonderful director, wonderful writer, wonderful human being, so much so that I ended up marrying his older sister. So he's now my brother-in-law. But working with him, we loved being able to present, independent films to the area. And so when an opportunity arose, we decided to start the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival, in Palatine, 15 years ago at this point. And, we wanted to make sure that people out in the burbs can enjoy independent films just as much as the people who end up living downtown and have easier access to it. So every year we were doing a week-long festival. And so, at some point he realized that I don't mind having a microphone in my hand, and so made sure that I was emceeing the festival and asking questions of the audience, but and those filmmakers who do come into the show. But one of the things that actually sets the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival apart from other film festivals, at least in my humble opinion, is our judges watch the films with the audience. So they don't pre-screen. We have, people who pre-screen the films to make sure what we're going to, put into the festival. But our judges are watching it along with the audience. So they get to feel the emotion, the audience immersion.
The reactions and get everything live.
Because if you're watching it, on a laptop in your living room, you're subject to, maybe I want to go, make a snack or something like that. You're not always
judges.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, dumb question maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Could that not maybe influence the judges, like based on the reactions of the people?
To a degree, that's actually the hope.
Is that what you really want?
Well, yes. I mean, to me, we've already pre-screened the films enough to the point that we know that these are the films that we want. These are selected for a reason because we believe that they are eligible for best of the festival, best feature, best documentary, best short, all these, kinds of awards that we have every year. And so we want, the judges to experience it with that audience, because it is a completely different being to enjoy a film with people around you, because that does help influence how the film can be reacted. If you're watching it in your living room, you're not experiencing it as the same if you're alone. So
then it's just like a lone critic, sitting in a room where he didn't have to come with a whole bunch of people.
Correct.
Sad, had the private showings. It was okay. It wasn't okay.
Yeah, you might not be swayed emotionally unless you're with that audience to feel other people crying or
you
laughing.
Miss something because you're wondering, what were y'all laughing about? And then you kind of, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, you might not even get the joke if you're not seeing other people enjoy it. And it's the same kind of experience if you're in a large theater and there's only few people there.
Right.
You don't laugh as loud. You don't laugh as much because you feel kind of alone as like an island. Whereas if you're in a packed theater and everybody is laughing, it is just an experience that is so immersive.
Yeah. So it just it becomes contagious because then everybody else has I could express myself now.
Correct.
He is next to me. Why can't
you
I?
feel a lot more free, and so we want that judge experience that we feel is something above other theater.
Has it always been that way?
Yes.
The judging?
Blue Whiskey has always had in-person judges.
Oh, I like that.
Awesome.
Yes.
At first, I was like, you know what I mean, Matt?
Yeah.
At first, you're kind of wondering, Jesus, is that what you really want to do?
But then you think about it. The thing about it too is, it like you said, what it does is it makes the judges step into the shoes of the audience and make them experience what the audience is experiencing, and so those different settings can definitely change how you might even view the movie, and especially, of course, the atmosphere that you're in, the place you're in, can definitely change that as well too. So the fact that like you're in a larger theater around people, I think would make, again, I think that that's a great thing that the judges do that because it makes it almost more personable and again along the ride with everyone else in that experience of seeing the films.
And for that reason, we also make the judges do the Q&As at the end of the film. So we make them own it and let them ask questions that may, again, help influence, whether or not they feel this is the best cinematography or, all of the awards that we have.
And then that can also assist now the viewers, just the attendees, looking at it a different angle. Now, from a professional's view, of what he's looking at as a critic.
Yeah. And it doesn't make you feel like, oh, it's these secret judges behind the curtain.
Correct.
It's where they're with you in the journey.
Yeah, that full transparent. Correct. Full transparency. Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, I like that idea. Yeah. When you first said it, I was kind of like, could that, like alter things in a bad way for you?
I mean, in theory, it could. If your film bombs.
Look, if it's a bomb, but if it's a bomb, it's a bomb.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And you've already had several friends or people, that are going to give you an honest opinion of what you think you have.
Correct.
There.
Yes.
So hopefully you're presenting something that's.
And again, hopefully those bombs ended up getting into the programming screenings. We have two people who watch every single film, regardless of whether or not they rate it as a 1. So we have a 1 to 4 system. So it's either strongly dislike, like, and strongly like. We pretty much try to make sure that we do make sure that all 4s end up in the festival. The question is whether or not how deep into the 3s we end up having to get. But regardless of if it's a 1, 2 people end up watching it because, again, when our programmers are watching them in that sterile environment, they're watching it on their laptop. And you can have a judge or a programmer who looks at a film and goes, I did not like this film. This is not my cup of tea. I was having a bad day, whatever it is. So as long as we have 2 people who are watching every single film, and there's a lot of submissions every year.
Oh, yeah.
We at least understand, okay, was this, just an outlier that somebody really hated and this is actually a fantastic film, or, we get a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Well, the blend is always helpful.
Oh, correct.
You want to have everybody in there. Everybody get a shot at it.
At
least. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you're still living in the area?
Oh, yeah. I'm in Algonquin now.
Oh.
I grew up in St. Charles.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because you mentioned Palatine, and Palatine has a pretty active theatrical groups.
Correct. In fact, Mark Stewart Iverson and Michael grew up together. So
nice.
That's from profit or for profit. Yep.
For profit. And again, for those who don't know, For Profit, which was filmed right here in this studio, in all the surroundings of Elgin.
Yes,
it was the town of Zion, not Elgin.
Correct.
Because they didn't want to keep the same town name. But it was actually pretty neat. And you've worked with him before?
I've worked with Mark before. I did not end up working on For Profit, but definitely went to the premiere because, we're friends.
Him and his family, mother and father, they were executive producer of that film.
Correct. In fact, Al Iverson, Mark's father, is on our board.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Oh, what a guy he is.
He is.
Yes,
Mr. Iverson is just, and his wife, they are just down to
love
earth,
Wanda.
right? Grounded people. Yeah, you want them on the board.
Correct.
And they'll tell you the straight shot too if it's not
they
right.
will.
They're going to tell you exactly how they feel. That's I think what I like the most about Al.
Yes.
Al is like that. He just does this shirt make me look fat? Well, it's not the shirt. Yeah, he's a good guy that way. So that's pretty neat. So you stayed in the area. You're in Algonquin now. And you got a family.
Yep.
What do you got for?
I've got my wonderful wife, Tricia, and my 2 daughters, Ruth and Ellie.
Nice.
10 and 8. They are my lifeblood.
Yeah, and you mentioned the pet earlier.
Yes, Agnes, our wonderful dog, who is an 80-year-old nun.
Yeah.
You said she's the most calm in the family. Is that
Correct. Yeah. And again, my daughters have taken on acting as well, which we didn't expect. My wife is an actress. And we very much anticipated our kids were going to become like doctors or lawyers or something like, completely left brain and leave the...
Dinner must really be fun at your house.
It's loud and chaotic, again, which is why having the dog, who is the calmest member of the household, is very entertaining.
Yeah, but I bet it would be. Yeah, depending on what it is, whoever's in the... Because you're not all in the same production or whatever at the same time.
We actually, Dundee Park District, my wife played Sister Margareta. I played Captain Von Trapp. My eldest played, Marta. And then my youngest played Gretel in The Sound of Music. So we did all 4 of us did a show together. It was wonderful to be together.
Yeah. Oh my
That is
God.
really cool.
Yeah.
You captivated all the credits too.
Yes.
I can imagine all the same names.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who are you going to learn from, right?
Correct.
You learn from the best and you learn from what goes on in your house.
Yep.
So evidently you got a nice, comfortable setting at the household.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll take it. You happy that they're getting into the acting?
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you ask them if they did something, how do you know they're telling you the truth?
I will state now, granted, there's certain things that they have not perfected. My youngest specifically, if she does not get her way, will start heading upstairs and go, "Wah!" And I'm like, no, you're an actress. You need to improve upon the crying a little bit. She can still rock tears, but the vocal inflection is just lost.
Hey, you hear that music? Mm-hmm. So what that music tells me is we're going to be out of here in a few short moments because we're going to the bottom of the hour. We're going to be back with John Legat, and he's had a whole bunch more stories to tell us. We're looking forward to them. The whole family's in this operation for Grey Eye. They're all actors. How can you beat that, huh? He's teaching them all. He's teaching them all the right way. And we're going to have some more one-on-one right here with John, and we look forward to this. And what we're talking about, of course, is the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival, of which John is the MC. So we'll be back in a few short moments. Stay tuned and don't turn that dial.
It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN.
And we are back. Dino's Night Out, 1410 WRMN. Don't forget, folks, you want to make a phone call in here, you want to talk to our guest, John Legat, please do so. He definitely wants to hear from you. So make that phone call. 847-931-1410. That's the number to call in. Our text is 505-926-1410. And those of you watching on YouTube, you could, you can leave a little message over here as well. So we're going to get right back to our discussion. We were doing pretty good over here with John. And so I know for a fact something's coming up pretty special. Mm-hmm. This Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival.
Yep.
And the 27th.
Yep. We kick off on the 27th.
And tell us all about that. I mean, people get to come and obviously see these films with these judges.
Yep.
Now, do they know it's a judge? Has he got something on him that makes him a judge? Or is he just in there like anybody else?
We do give them special lanyards, and they end up having clipboards and what I lovingly call the football, akin to the nuclear codes. I give them a booklet every day that is all the films that they're going to be watching, whether or not there's any questions, Q&As that they're going to be conducting, and who's going to be there for the Q&As. But they write notes during the films. So we typically try to put them in the back so that they're not disturbing the actual audience members with any sort of light and pens. But that's how they end up screening the films and taking notes and having the deliberations each day to talk about, the films that they watched. That's about how we keep those judges, quasi-sequestered so that nobody else is hearing everything. But we used to do a week-long festival. So we would run an entire 7 or 8 days in a row, whereas at Classic Cinemas in Elk Grove, where we'll be doing this year's, we could only do Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So we did have to break up the fest a little bit to accommodate, but Classic Cinemas is such a wonderful location. The seats are fantastic.
Is that Arlington Heights Road in Biesterfield?
Yes, correct. Okay. Yeah, and the theater is fantastic. We're actually in Theater 1, which is their larger theater.
Okay.
So, we have all this room, and you can go to BWIFF.com, BWIFF.com, and see what the shorts, so we do a number of shorts ahead of a film, and then we do one feature a night, and we go straight through on those, but each night is a different set of shorts and feature. And so you can go to the website and see what those films are and buy tickets online for that. So that one's, the week-long fest is broken up onto the April 27th, 28th, and 29th. And then the next Sunday, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And all of that is at the Elk Grove Classic Cinemas. But then because this is our 15th year and we wanted to go crazy, we have stuff that is going on between, because we can't do the week-long fest. We have all these days off that we've decided to monopolize on. And so there's a number of free screenings for what we called our Beyond competition.
Okay.
So they're films that we have a separate set of judges that are judging, but what it is films that were so good, but because they're all features, we can only do one feature a night. And so in 6 nights, we have a number of films that we want, that have been selected for the primary. But there are 6 films that we thought were so good that we wanted the audience to be able to see them. And so by bringing them to the Beyond, we can take them to different locations throughout the Chicagoland area and let the audience see those films. And so, but we decided to put them in their own competition, so they're judged separately from the main festival.
And I think I got that, but let me just...
Yep.
So I understand this.
Mm-hmm.
The 27th, when it kicks off, week long.
Yep.
How many films? Just one per night? One featured film per night?
One feature film, yes. And so a feature, we say, is anything over 45 minutes.
Okay.
But it's a series of shorts. So there's usually 3, 4, maybe 5 shorts, including some music videos.
For that one specific...
Yep, for that
specific evening. Okay.
Yep.
Now I got you. So they were seeing a whole bunch of different stuff.
Oh, correct.
And it's mixed comedy, drama.
Oh, yeah.
Is it all
documentary, all sorts of stuff. Yes.
All right, I got you.
So the official selection, there are close to 20 shorts and then the 6 features.
Wow. So people, they're getting a variety.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And it's just the cost to get in. Is it more than an average ticket price, or is it?
I'd say it's I think it's a little bit higher than a normal movie price. I'm trying to remember what movie prices are now.
But it doesn't matter. You're not seeing just one film.
Correct. Yeah, you're seeing a whole thing, and you're also experiencing, question and answers and all sorts of other things. And we do give microphones to the audience so that they could ask questions as well. So it's quite the experience.
Yeah, they're working on the next MC. That's why they're getting.
Yep, pretty much. Find them.
Don't let them take your job.
I'll try not to.
No, but that's great. That is really something. You get to see all in the different spots.
Yep.
Man, we ought to try and hit out there one of these.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's close to 20.
Yep.
It's a lot of movies, a lot of good movies that you can see out there, and they're all different genres too.
Correct.
Which I think is great. It's good to kind of mix it up a bit.
That's the part I like. I like the fact that you're mixing everything. Any evening, you could have God knows what.
Yeah. We don't theme our evenings. So it's you're getting all sorts of things. There's horror, there's drama, there's comedy, all sorts, documentaries.
See, now we're getting back to where it's making more sense that the judges are there with the people.
Correct.
Because you're switching gears all types of different stuff.
Yep.
So it's not as if you brought all your friends and we're going to stay
Correct.
deck for X amount of viewing. There's such a variety.
Yep.
Any judge is going to know that it wasn't a stacked deck, that this is legit stuff.
Correct. And then the other comedy is we do have one audience award, which is audience favorite award, and we do like to say that since we are Chicago-based film festival, if somebody comes on that opening night, opening Sunday, and they see a film and they love that film and that is their audience favorite for that night, they can write that onto the little postcard and drop that in the box. And if they come back on Monday and they see all of the films on Monday, but their favorite was still the one from Sunday, they can vote again.
Oh,
vote early, vote often,
that's
but vote
the
once per
Chicago way.
night.
You get the
Exactly.
2 votes.
Yep.
That makes sense to me.
Early, vote often. Every night that you come in, you can vote. And if it's still your favorite film was the first night, you
so
can
it
keep
gets
doing.
another
Oh
one.
yeah.
Oh, is that nice?
That's good. Yeah.
Well, that's a neat way of doing it.
Incentive to bring people back.
Yeah. There you go. Now, when it comes to like voting, are there certain categories that people can vote on? So best color palette, best script, best actors, things like that?
Yeah. So we do have our whole list of awards, but the audience only gets to really vote on that audience favorite.
Okay.
But our judges do control Best of Fest because, again, we're an Illinois-based one. We have Best of Illinois. So if there's any person who is associated with the film who is from Illinois, when a filmmaker submits their film, they check that box, and then they are up against all the other ones that checked that box, essentially. But that way we, the judges do try to if the film is actually about or filmed in Illinois, that tends to usually win it for them. But knowing that, we do that because, again, we love Illinois. But we do Best Narrative Short, Best Narrative Feature, Best Documentary Feature, Best Documentary Short, Best Music Video. As long as there's 2 films that can compete against each other, they are up against each other, essentially.
Well, I think it's great because you have a long list of different awards and prizes, so that kind of would mean more opportunities.
Correct.
For different. Now, can they? Can certain movies and films win multiple different awards?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if the film was that good that it, is ticking enough boxes, in multiple categories, especially when it comes to the acting or cinematography, those tend to, come more often with a lot of films are winning a number of them. In fact, you will almost always assuredly see that the Best of Fest, so best overall, essentially, goes to one of the ones that won Best Narrative or Best Documentary Feature. Those pretty much you guarantee if it won one of those, it's probably going to be up for that Best of Fest.
Right, exactly. Now, of course, with theaters only have a certain amount of space. I imagine there's times when it's packed because you have, of course, the filmmakers there, you have their families there, you have the friends, you have the producers, the writers, all there. And of course, there's so many films that are being shown. So have you experienced that too, where it's packed house and you gotta...
Yes, on a number of occasions, we end up where it's all right, sorry, we can't, accommodate any more people because of being... packed on for there. And those are wonderful nights, especially for the judges, because they get to ask so many questions of so many different people. And the audience usually gets very involved in those. I know there was one from Italy last year that we had a packed house, and a lot of the people were, there was an Italian community from Chicago that actually took a bus out to because a lot of the people had grown up or their relatives were from that town that the film was about. And so it was very interesting.
Well, that's why it was exciting for the For-Profit movie when we filmed it here. And, and so that was exciting for a lot of people in Elgin. So that's very good. Very cool.
And Matt was a part of it. He was in the film.
Yeah, it was, oh my gosh, it was such a fun experience. So much fun. I'm just so grateful I was able to be a part of it. So.
Yeah. Independent film is wonderful. It's a great community. It's great that it involves the community.
Are they all shorts, the independent films?
Well, it depends. I mean, again, we're screening features more often than not. Something that I do find is a director or writer-director will come up with an idea and they'll start it off as a short film, and they'll screen it at festivals, and then if it gets enough interest, they'll turn it into a feature-length film. Oculus was screened at Blue Whiskey.
Really?
We screened it short, and then when he took it and ended up making an entire feature film about it, we didn't get to screen the feature because by that point he was making lots of money for it. But we screened the short that then became a feature horror movie, and let me tell you, that is
really cool.
Yeah,
Scary.
scary.
I love it.
Pretty slick. Hey, you stick around for that.
Oh yeah, I can stick around.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more to John Legat, and he's with the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival. He's got a whole bunch more to tell us, some more stories, and just hang tight. WRMN 1410. And we are back to Dino's Night Out, right here, WRMN 1410. I left the music going, telling you the truth. I had to take a little quick washroom break, so it took me a little bit longer to get back. So sorry about that. You're wondering, what's he listening to all that music for? It's not his normal theme song. Well, that's why I did what I did. I'll just tell you guys the truth what happened. So we're going to get right back to it. Matt's got a whole bunch of questions that he wants to sit here and talk to John about. John Legat is who we have in here with the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival. I've learned a whole lot of things. I mean, there's all kinds of neat little shorts you could go and see. Elk Grove Village right there, Arlington Heights Road and Beesterfield. I mean, that's the main cross streets. It's right behind a Walgreens and a Jewel, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a lot of different spots over there. So it's, I mean, for the value and from what I understand, you could get a whole bunch for just not a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So anyhow, Matt, go ahead. Take it over, man.
Well, my goodness. So, of course, as we know, there's lots of different films out there. And what do you think is, because I feel like shorter films and independent films are starting to become more prominent. They're more on the rise. Is this due to more of an inspiration from more mainstream movies, or do you think it's something that we're seeing kind of within different theater groups and preparations in college, that it's been kind of being, I don't want to say pushed, but in a good way,
I mean, honestly, I think Sundance is really kind of, there's been a push towards independent films, and I know in more recent years, especially, we've started seeing a lot more big name actors who are tagging on to these kinds of independent films. In fact, I know one of the Beyond competition has Mahershala Ali in a mockumentary film. And so, I mean, we even have films that are sent to us with big named actors. But I think the thing that independent film does that major motion pictures and studios that are producing these kinds of things can do that they're not able to do is really kind of push the envelope about stories and characters, because you've got a producer who's going, no, this is what's going to sell. And independent film's not about selling. I mean, don't get me wrong. These people making independent films want to sell their films so that they can make money off of it because they've already invested all this money. But, you can do a lot more with an independent film, and people can come and see all of the things that the envelopes that have been pushed by coming to film festivals like BWIF.
Absolutely. Would you say that there's, I would say too, a lot of films, especially if they're independent films, when it's based off of a true story, I think that can really touch the hearts of a lot of people, especially if the director or the writer or the producer, it's their story. Yep. Have you noticed that too, that's starting to become more prevalent within that?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and again, that's a perfect example of if somebody goes and says, I want to make a film about my life to a producer in big Hollywood, they're not going to get that made typically. Whereas you can do that as an independent film. And so, there's a lot of great films that do that, and a lot of ones that end up winning a number of awards because of it. I mean, if you get the right heartstrings, or you're pushing the envelope in the right way, and you've got enough cinematic value to it, it's amazing what can be done.
Absolutely. There's certain
Deep pockets don't hurt either. I would.
It's true.
Because I want to do a film.
Yeah.
Here's a couple. Okay.
Although you'd be surprised. I mean,
not,
we do end up with a lot of like student films, but at the same time, they might not have the same financial backing, but somebody who's going to college to do cinematography, if the story is good enough, and we like to say, at least for Blue Whiskey, it's character that drives story. So if the characters are good enough and relatable enough that you're drawn into the film by the characters, whether it's necessarily the acting or just the characters in general.
You got a couple characters here.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got a shoe in. What do you think, Matt?
I think so.
We're filming it.
Everybody else in the building? Yeah. Yeah, I'm only playing with you. But yeah, that's you wonder how that happens. Is it? Yeah. It's not always money, though, either. It's a matter of if the content isn't there, again, there's your judges, the content isn't there.
Yep.
No matter what you throw at it, if it don't stay on the wall.
Correct. There are instances where, the best produced, meaning the most money is at it, doesn't win best of fest or even best of a particular category. There are times that, it's really what about the character of that film, what drove that. Yeah,
this isn't an independent film, but it reminds me of you're talking about great actors, great production. Robin Williams, my most favorite comedian in the whole world. What about Popeye? I mean, you got to admit, if that thing didn't tank, it was great.
Yep.
I mean, if you get into him and you really got everything that was going on and you really appreciate the film, boy, what a neat film. But on the onset, everybody's like, oh no. This was not
that's fair.
This was not what it should be. You know what I mean?
It's a level of camp to it. Again, it was trying to be a cartoon, so But
no, it was just it was trying to be the analogy I could bring with it, and I loved it myself. But you talk to a lot of people. No, that's not the thing.
It's true. It was a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, here comes your judges, and that's why they're there. That's why you do it. So then a lot of these smaller, smaller films, we'll call them, less amount of time on the screen.
Yep.
And then they could turn into even a longer playing, depending on the response from what you get from either judges or, the people watching.
Yeah, the amount of film festivals that it goes to, the amount of awards it wins at other film festivals or at our film festival. The more notoriety a particular film or especially shorts tend to get, I mean, more often than not, the director or writer that has a much larger, bigger scale idea that they would love to do a feature-length version of a particular film, but they, can't always get a budget for, 2 hours worth of film versus 20 to, or 10 to 20 minutes of a short.
Has it happened often where these shorts have turned into full?
It depends on what the storyline is and whether or not they can get somebody to back it financially. But I mean, a short is a great way to introduce it to
put your toe in the water.
Yeah. To find out what investments there might be for a particular film.
Yeah. And again, what else is going on in the world?
Yep.
Makes a big difference in movies today, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you think you hit the home run, maybe what would have been good, let's just even take the COVID times.
Yep.
But there's a lot of different good storylines that could work. You can't play that storyline no more.
Correct. Or even trying to film during COVID times. But I do know we had a pretty big influx of films that hit us because directors and editors had time to work on finishing films and sending them out to festivals. So,
well, I'll tell you, this means that we're at the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
And in just a few short seconds, I'm going to be off another 40 seconds. So, we got a lot more to talk about. You mind sticking around, Pat?
I can easily stick around, yeah.
Hey, listen, you're listening to WRMN 1410 AM. We're on the YouTube. We're on everything. So give us a call, 847-931-1410, and give a call to John Legat. You're going to like talking to the guy. He's a guest inside the theater, inside the studio. It's a theater. Yeah, we got cameras.
Life is a stage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But we'll be back in just a few short moments. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to be talking some more with John. You're going to love to hear what he has to say.
It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN.
Hey, we are back. Dino's Night Out, WRMN 1410, which you are joined each and every Friday with me, Dino, 2 to 4, right? I hope you're liking it. I didn't see nobody calling in yet. 847-931-1410. You know, we got to have a call, 1 or 2 for John over here. Tell him what's going on. I mean, he's a nice guy, this John Legat. He's got a lot to say. So we're going to invite him back now. And what we do want to do is talk about a lot of the different other events that you got going on, not just the independent, you know.
So, yeah, amongst that Sunday through Tuesday from the 27th to the 29th of the 4th to the 6th, we have 3 free screenings, a different film each night, Wednesday, April 30th, May 1st, and
Did you say free?
Yes, free, because they're at Palatine Public Library.
Yep. Hey, all you radio shopping showers, this is your time.
It's your time.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, and there's some really fantastic films, especially the one on Wednesday, April 30th. That's Discovering Catherine. It's about an Illinois woman who was big in the suffragette movement. So it's a documentary about, you know, all these lawyers and whatnot, especially really kind of finding all of her documents, her letters, and how she, you know, really helped the movement of suffragette back in the day. But then we also, on May 7th, have our Cinema Centennial, which we started a number of years ago. But we go back 100 years and we find a film that we want to screen, and for the last number of years, we've paired it with a live pianist and Foley. And this year we pre-recorded them, so that will be released on our YouTube channel. But so it's wonderful to see a film from 100 years ago, you know, come to life. And so that's the Cinema Centennial. We literally just go back 100 years and find a film. Obviously, we couldn't do that beyond 1919. So. But, you know, so it's nice that we kind of started that particular thing.
I would love going to that because I love all I like history and like the old stuff. So that would be really cool. They got the piano playing too. So it feels like you're watching a movie back in the actual time. Correct. Because that's how they used to do it. Is they had the piano players, you know, play to the tune of when the characters were on screen and stuff. So,
well, they had like the Arcata Theater.
Yep.
Out of the floor, Des Plaines Theater. It was it would come out of the bottom.
Yep.
And then there you got
big old organ,
playing the organ, pipe organ in many cases. But go into the sound of the different movies that are playing. Yeah.
Yep. And it's really nice because again, since we pre-recorded, you know, you'll not only see the movie, but you'll also see the pianist and the Foley artist, you know, playing all of these wonderful instruments and making the sounds that are going along with the film.
I would probably dress up in the 20s.
Correct.
And attire like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I could die in a 3-piece suit, I would.
Yeah. Like going to this event, I'd be all with my pocket watch and everything.
Yep.
So.
Fedora, rocking it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we can make sure you're put in a 3-piece suit.
That's a good point.
When that time comes. Yeah. Pocket watch.
Yep.
Pocket the whole 9 yards.
Pocket line. Yeah.
You want to be all
Fedora.
Okay.
Rocking it. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of hard with the hat, though, laying flat.
It depends.
We'd have to cut off the back half.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes.
In
the casket. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Although it wouldn't matter to me at that point. So.
No, who'd care? Well, we would.
Oh, thank you. That's good to know.
But that was a heck of a path we went down, wasn't it? Oh, that's okay.
Dark, huh?
This is what happens.
Yep.
Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness. So you've got, there's another one. Characters Drive Story. That's May 8th. Now, this is a virtual event. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So it's another virtual event. And what it is there was a film that we aired in our first year. So again, 15 years ago, it was called Driver's Ed Mutiny. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to film a staged reading of the film. So we have actors who are coming in and, you know, we're going to film us all reading it together, and then we will post that on the 8th at 7 p.m. again on our YouTube channel. And so that it's really nice to be able to bring that back from 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's so cool. It sounds like we've got a caller here on the hold too.
Yes, we do. We're going to get her on right now. And let me put my thing. There you go. Hey, who do we? Oh, I know who this is. Is this Rita?
Yes, it is.
How you doing, Rita?
Hi, Rita.
I'm doing fine. I have a question. How does the general population find out about which movies are playing and where,
Oh,
and the
yes.
cost, and things like that. Where does one go to look?
So on our website, bwiff.com, we have our entire 2025 screening schedule. What it does say is the name of the feature that's going to be there that night, and then it says plus shorts. But if you click into any of those days, you'll be able to buy the tickets from that location as well. But there's information about the films and all the shorts that are going to be there. So there's a brief synopsis about every film that will be screened on each night.
And by a short one, does that mean it's an hour or less?
Oh, yeah. So a short film, we say, is anything less than 45 minutes. Most of the shorts, especially like music videos, are around like a 7-minute mark. But a lot of the shorts that we have are between that 10 and 20-minute mark. They're usually around 15 minutes, and they're a great little encapsulation of a beginning, a middle, and an end with a lot of character-driven and some great comedy in there. And so that's a short. So we have about 3, 4, maybe 5 shorts, depending on the length of each of them, that precedes our feature presentation for each night. So there's 6 feature films, and like I said, about 20 or so shorts that we screen right before those.
How long would the featured films be?
Feature films can be 45 minutes and up. We have some that are they're usually just over an hour. Let's see if I've got any of the information right around me here.
That's okay.
About an hour 30 is what we're typically seeing. Hour 20, hour 30. Yep.
Very good. You got some good things here. Oh, sorry. Go.
And do you say like what the content of your movie is?
The brief synopsis kind of says what it is. The website, calls out the information about them. I'm trying to think. It talks about the country of origin,
the rating, adult audiences or not, or
I would say for the most part they're typically fairly. I would suggest that they are for the older crowd, but. Yeah, I'm trying to think if it says anything about that. No, it doesn't. But yeah, all the information is on the website about each film for each night. So
I'll show you how to do that website. It's bwiff.com.
Yep.
Go ahead, Rita. What's your question?
Now, what about the actors? Are they known or are they not known actors to the general public?
It really depends. As I had mentioned a little bit earlier, Mahershala Ali, who is a well-known actor, is in a mockumentary film which is being screened for the Beyond competition. There are a lot of named or known actors who have been kind of dabbling into the independent film world, but for a lot of these, especially if they're like a student film, they obviously can't get the budget to put in a lot of named actors, but it's tends to be pretty mixed.
I just have a question. Another one. What's the difference between independent and what's at your regular theaters that you go to?
Oh yeah, so exactly that. You have like a major motion picture studio, Paramount, or Fox, that are essentially producing these large budget films with, known actors, whereas an independent film can be a director or a writer who's trying to eventually break into those studio productions. But, they have to get a start somewhere. They have a story that really touches them that they can't get a major motion picture to invest in. And so they do it, with smaller investors and on a smaller budget. But essentially the films, the stories and whatnot are, can be roughly the same. They can touch your heart just as much as a major motion picture. That's what makes independent so amazing and why we do this festival, is to make sure that audiences can see some of these films.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a wonderful question.
Thanks for calling, Rita.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rita.
So actually a lot of young actors, or even older, but just actors in general that like you're saying, they're not getting picked up by MGM, Paramount, and Fox and what have you. They get with maybe a smaller group. Is that like a company? Like, what do you guys, like in theater, you have different companies, right?
Sometimes I know that, our sister company that, was doing independent films where I got into this group, we were making independent films under a smaller banner. Obviously, it was CNGM Pictures.
Okay.
But, it was.
But I don't mean the company per se. Like, what do you call your group of?
You could call it a troupe, I guess.
Okay.
A troupe of players, technically.
I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's where people could become seen.
Yeah.
They could,
Easily.
someone all of a sudden could say, wow, this person has some talent.
Yeah.
They want to see some more of them. And so these judges that are out there, are some of them like even scouts, if there's such a thing?
Potentially. I mean, none of ours are scouts, but that is something. I mean, if you're winning Best Actor or Best Actress at film festivals for a particular production, that's resume fodder. That's something you can take to an agent or whatnot. And then as long as you have a reel of all of these independent films, shorts or features or whatever it is that you're doing, an agent can pick you up. And this is similar to like cinematography. You're showing your work, but you're showing it at the scale that you can access right now. And so this is how a lot of filmmakers break into that next area.
And so then after this series is done, the Blue Whiskey and Film Festival's over, X amount of films were seen, they're judged, correct? Yep. And then what like is the next step? What happens to there?
So on
to see that or
on the Wednesday after everything, we sequester our judges, if you will. We feed them pizza so they're not starving. But we go over all of the films and they essentially come up with who's going to be making what awards, and then we record that. And then the Blue Glass Awards ceremony again goes on to our YouTube channel, but that's May 14th at 7 p.m. And so we announce the winners, and we send a whiskey glass to those filmmakers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be really
awesome.
Good. Yep. They give them. You get them then with you. Little live.
No, sadly, no. We tried that a number of years where we did the presentation live, and it was probably one of the more sad things is you'd have like a filmmaker who had been there for like the entire festival watching all of their other, their competitors, I guess, roughly, films. And then they would come to the live presentation and not win an award. And like, it was so gut wrenching to do. Okay. So we were like, we're going to stop doing this.
Little dignity. I got it.
So nobody gets to do any sort of speech, but the judges do, establish why they felt that this film, was exemplary for this particular awards, which is wonderful.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. So there's more levels and more steps. And then again, once you have those winners, who knows? You never know who's watching something, who's seeing something. Someone sees a little spark or a little something in that actor or actress. They're like, hey, we're going to make a call on this.
Yeah. And especially with like phones nowadays, like pretty much anybody can make an independent film. Like if you have a way of editing it, the camera on your phone alone is
the quality that they have
wonderful enough that you could be in a major motion picture theater and it would look fantastic.
And wasn't that done not too long ago? Someone did the whole thing on like either an iPhone or a.
I know there was a Lady Gaga music video that was recent.
Is that what it was?
Was shot all on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't.
It's something. The technology is really growing, and it's with the touch of a button and in our own pockets we can do it. So.
Yeah, it's amazing what we carry as far as a cell phone goes. Well, this is interesting stuff, John.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize how much was involved in,
there's so much involved in the film festival.
Oh, I bet. And those cameras that they use, though, the ones that are doing this, what do they call that? Red something? Camera?
Yeah, there's the Red. Yeah, I actually worked on a film that used the Red. It's a beautiful film camera.
And what does that do? Give it more crisp?
Essentially, yes. Yeah. I mean, you're paying a lot of money to do something that pretty much an iPhone can do now. Like the original Red, I think, pretty much was comparable to what an iPhone is now.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Oh, God. I just can't. I was like, oh, my gosh. And all that money that went in. I used to have I had a Sony CCD, with all the
Okay,
anything that came. In fact, I had the original one. I'm a little older than you. That had that big heavy pack.
Yes.
I had the beta.
Did you have to actually hold up the light next to it at all?
You had all that, yeah.
Yep. I always love those.
Getting the right, and there was someone's always in the shadow.
Yep.
So holding up the light didn't do you no good.
Yep, and that's what you need a cinematographer for.
See, that's what that's for.
Yeah,
Everybody's got
they're
a
all
job.
about the lighting it. Yep.
Everybody has a job.
Yeah. So something I learned about when I was on the for-profit is how long a scene can take to make. There was a time when it was one day where it was just like one day for one scene.
Yep.
And 5-6 hours or so.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. So we got a caller here on hold. We'll put him back on the air
Okay,
here.
hold on. Let's get this caller. Hello, you are on WRMN.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Hey, we're
Good. How are
doing
you?
great.
I was just sitting here and I listening to all this. It's so interesting and so cool. I had no idea
Well, thank
about
you.
any of this. Love it, love it, love it. It's really good. And did you say you were a part of the Prophet movie?
I was not on for-profit. Matt was.
I was.
Oh, I thought I was in the car at one point too.
Yep.
I apologize.
Well, that's right.
I thought you
What
said
movie
you
was
went
that
to,
in the car? Is that a short as well in the car?
Oh, no.
Oh, you were in the car. You didn't hear it. I got it.
I was listening in the car.
Yeah, I know
And I
what you're
came in
saying.
and now I'm watching you on YouTube.
I like that.
Wonderful. Just wanted to tell you, very interesting. The 20 movies and whatnot. Love it.
Yep, 20 shorts and 6 features.
Right. I
Yep.
heard that. And then the people can put in their favorite one each night
Yep.
or just.
Yep, we give little cards out at as you're leaving to write down the name of the film that you liked, and as we joked, as a Chicago-based, if you really liked a film from yesterday better than you like the films today, you can vote for that one again.
That's awesome. Keep on doing it.
We will try. Thank you.
Sounds great. Love talking to you all. Have a good day.
You
Thanks for
too.
calling,
Thank you very
Judy.
much.
Thanks.
Okay, take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, and like they were saying, just to recap the process, you're not only seeing these different films, a variety of films, you'll have your shorts, and then you'll have one or two featured for that evening.
Yep.
But at the end of all this, you get to have the question and answer.
Yeah.
So do they have the question and answer after each particular showing, or do they wait and do them all at once?
So if the filmmaker is in town, we will do it immediately after their film, so that way, one, it's as fresh in the audience's brains. It's also as fresh in our judges' brains. And so that allows that filmmaker to, take questions both from our judges and from our audience, about the film that they just witnessed. Yeah. And, for the longest time, we were also doing Skype. Again, we've been doing this for 15 years, so it was Skype back then. Now, obviously, it's Zoom. But unfortunately, the classic cinemas, we have had Wi-Fi issues. And so as such, we've lost kind of this nuance to like foreign films, because we have a number of films from across the pond. In fact, we have, we've got some really fantastic locations for this particular season. But because of that, we actually have a judge who has pre-screened some of these films and is doing some pre-recorded Q&As that we're going to actually show immediately after the film. So unfortunately, the audience won't get to ask those questions of those people. Possibly one of my favorites that from a previous year, we actually had a filmmaker who woke up in the middle of the night and took the Skype from his bed. To call in and have people ask questions of him. It was quite fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I bet that would be fantastic.
Yeah, those were some good years.
That's funny. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So again, after you do the main piece, which is your week, you have all those extras, and then what do they do? Do they go through a period? Is this like, okay, we have to go back and shoot some new material? Or is there a period, or is material always coming out?
Material is always coming out. One of the most interesting things is that post-production kind of scenario. So like a film will spend all of this time filming, and then they will start editing it and putting it in front of test audiences. That's kind of those, where they're maybe going back and making changes and everything. If it's coming to us as a festival, it is what they believe polished product. It is done and ready for either distribution, or trying to get distribution, and run the circuit of festivals to see what you can get from those awards. And what's interesting is actually from a film festival standpoint, there is a very interesting hierarchy. Like you need to, if you're doing Cannes or Sundance, those need to be the first places that it goes. And so the only reason that, it would come down towards Blue Whiskey is it is either already screened at Cannes and Sundance or was not accepted by them, and you're running, down the length of places.
Trying to give it another shot.
Yes. Yeah, trying to get it that next breath of oxygen to see whether or not it will take off and light that fire.
So it's not that there's a certain period that this is when you have to have this done by.
Yeah.
There's no deadline.
When you're done, that's when you start submitting towards film festivals and see where you can land it, what you can get.
And I know from Profit, there's certain awards that are given to you along the way.
Yep.
And so you can maybe get the foreign award, but you didn't get the local one.
Yep.
Or vice versa.
Correct.
And that could make an impact as well.
It can, yeah.
All right.
Very good.
Listen, we're going to get to the bottom of the hour. And John, give us any final things that you're going to want to say.
Yep.
We've been talking with John Legat, great man, great individual, actor. He's everything. He's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
He's got a great family from what it sounds.
Yep.
And he's with the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival.
Yes.
And that starts the 26th of this month. And you're going to, I'm sorry?
27th.
Like I said, the 27th of this month. And that's going to be right in Oak Grove Village as the main one, which is Biesterfield and Arlington Heights Road. You're going to see a variety of films. There'll be a lot of shorts in there. And there'll be a few featured presentations.
Yeah.
So if you have any inclination, or maybe you got a friend that's got a little something they're putting together, make sure you put a vote in there.
And actually, that's a wonderful cue up. Thank you very much. If you know somebody who is interested in making films, the best thing for young filmmakers to do is go and see what others are doing, to go experience, especially independent films. And it's the reason that we have a kind of a passion for independent films and why we have a film festival. We want people out here in the burbs to see these films because they're fantastic. And so we hope you come out and check out bwiff.com to see all of the show times and get tickets. So
awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for letting me.
Fantastic.
We really appreciate you coming on in here. And you're welcome here anytime you want to come on in, John. We'd love to have you again. So
I accept your terms.
And nothing else, give us the results of what happened.
I will.
In fact, why don't we plan on that?
All right.
A couple weeks after the festival, because you'll have that second part.
Yep.
Come on back, give us a call. You got our numbers.
All right.
We'd love to have you in. And then we could tell our audience what happened and who didn't win.
Yeah.
Maybe even some of the film directors, possibly.
Yeah, let's
That would
get
be
somebody
quite
in there.
something, too.
Yeah. Don't come empty-handed. Bring someone with you.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. Thank you very much.
you.
Thank
John,
you, guys.
Thank you for
Dean,
being
thank
here.
you. Matt.
God bless you. Have a happy Easter if you celebrate it.
You too.
If you don't, it's still Easter for a lot of other people.
is, yeah.
I celebrate it, so I wish everybody a happy Easter. Hey, we'll be back right at the bottom of the hour.
Thank you.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by